We are now ready to start with the post-lunch session, and the presentations in this session will be by respective governments and state governments. So once again, we have the government perspective to share with you all. This afternoon, we have in our midst Ms. Mercy Epao. She is Joint Secretary SME, MSME, Government of India. It is a great pleasure to have you here with us, ma'am. May I request you to please join us on stage? So ladies and gentlemen, in this session, we shall also have presentations by the respective state government. As I shared, we will be listening from the government of Chhattisgarh, wherein we will have representation from the Department of Agriculture and Rural Management of the government of Raipur. And we also have NABARD in representation here in this session, but all that comes later. Meanwhile, it gives me great pleasure to request the Joint Secretary, Ms. Mercy Epao, to kindly share her perspective. She is talking this afternoon on the government initiative of funding schemes for Mission Atmanirbhar Bharat, exploring international opportunities. Please put your hands together and give a warm welcome.
Thank you. Very good afternoon. It's right after lunch, so I know it's a challenge for any speaker to keep the audience awake, because I know that the food will be digesting and you would love to have a nap. But give me a hearing, maybe for 10-15 minutes. I'm grateful to the organizer, All India Council for Robotics and Automation, for inviting me and to share the initiatives and the schemes of Ministry of MSMEs this afternoon. I'm sure you had a very interesting session in the morning. I have seen the lineup of speakers, and I know that whoever has joined today, you will go back with a lot of information and also understand the ecosystem that the government is trying to build. So once again, thank you, and also congratulations to the India Council for Robotics and Automation for putting up this very important workshop for the people. Ministry of MSME, as you know, plays a very important role, because MSME sector, if you look at India, contributes significantly to our GDP, isn't it? I'm sure nothing is new, but there is always that one person who perhaps is not so aware of what the government is doing. So for the benefit of them, I will go through some of the major schemes that our ministry implements. So if you look at the MSME landscape of the country, you will find out that 45% of all the manufacturing outputs come from the MSMEs. And total exports from the MSME is around 48-49%, and contribution to the GDP is around 30%. And we are the second largest employment generating sector next to agriculture. So we have around 11 crore people employed in MSMEs. And the number of MSME units is around 6.3 crores. And the products of MSMEs, services and products put together, it's more than 6,000, okay? And then if you look at the MSME products, you will find that it starts from the very basic ones, which the artisans make with hands or with very simple tools, up to the very high precision, very high-end advanced technology and the products made from those. So our products is right from the hand, khadi and village industry, up to the precision, some of the parts that we have manufactured for our Mangalayam satellite. So that also comes from the MSMEs. In order to mainstream our MSMEs also enter into the global value chain, we have classified, redefined the MSMEs. So I just want to give you a very short presentation on this. So what is a micro? We are talking about three categories. First is micro. Investment and your machinery and plant does not exceed 1 crore, and your turnover is not more than 5 crore, then you are a micro unit, okay? And if you are a small unit, then your investment, the machinery and technology put together does not exceed 10 crore, and your turnover does not exceed 50 crore, then you are a small unit. If you are a medium unit, then your investment does not exceed 50 crore and your turnover does not exceed rupees 250 crore, then you are a medium unit. If you talk about MSMEs, 90% of the MSMEs are in the micro, okay? So we have very little in medium and a sizable number in small. So this is the classification of MSMEs. Now MSMEs, as you know, Many of them are under informal sector. They are not registered, they don't have PAN card, they don't have any bank account. And so in order to bring all these MSMEs which are outside of the formal sector, we have launched this Udyam registration portal. It's free of cost. You just have to give your name and your enterprise address and your PAN card, and the government does not ask any money. But the moment we launch this, there are many fake sites that have come up. And so if you launch into the Udyam portal and people started, or the system started asking for money, then please remember that it's fake. Government of India, Ministry of MSME does not ask any money for getting yourself registered on the Udyam portal. So we started that on 1st July 2020, and as on today, we have around 1.7 crore people registered. And it is one of our vision that India by 2047, we want all the MSMEs to come under the formal sector. This is very important because if you want to access any of the benefits that Ministry of MSME is giving to the MSMEs, you have to have a Udyam registration number. So kindly go out and tell your MSME friends that if they have not registered on the Udyam portal, that's the first step that they should take, okay? So if you look at the ministry, we work under broadly 5 verticals. The first is, of course, finance facilitation, because access to credit is a very difficult thing for the MSMEs. As I said, they are digitally illiterate, they don't have access to banks, they don't have access to many of the facilities that the government give. So we want to help them by giving them a good portion of subsidy. So one of our flagship is Prime Minister Employment Generation Program, PMEGP. And so here we have also revised recently. So if you are in the manufacturing sector, you can take up to 50 lakh. If you are in the service sector, it has been increased to 20 lakh. The second thing is a credit guarantee trust for the MSMEs. Earlier, it used to be 2 crore only, that you can do without collateral, you can do without the third-party guarantee. Now it has been enhanced to 5 crore for the CGT MSE. So this is also a very good scheme, which is very popular with the MSMEs. The recent initiative which has been taken up by the government is the SRI fund, the Self-Reliant India Fund. This was announced under the Nirbhar Bharat scheme. And many of the MSMEs, they have, startup, they have got the seed funding and they are growing, they are doing well, but they have reached a stage where they need capital for growth, right? So this is where the SRI fund comes in. So it is a mother-daughter fund, and we have registered with SEBI, and NVCFL, NSIC Venture Capital Fund Limited has been opened, a company has been opened up, and it is now attached with NSIC. And here it is a 50,000 crore corpus. Okay, so 10,000 given by the government, 4 times more the daughter funds have to bring in, and that is how the fund for growth is being given by the government. The second vertical that we work on is on skill development. We have several schemes under the skilling part. And one of the initiative that NSIC, I am CMD NSIC also right now, so we have taken up in our Okhla center is to open up one center for hands-on training on robotics and drones, technology and so forth. So we are also realizing that this is one of the focus area that we must look at, and so we are trying to bring in this technology, this sector, in our Okhla center. The third vertical that we work on is the technology enablement, and this is one of the gap of the MSMEs, and we realize that there is so much that is required for the MSMEs, especially access to technology, understanding where the technology is and how to get it, and how best to find a vendor, so on and so forth. So we have several schemes under this where we upgrade their technology. We also help them procure the technology. And we also keep in mind that we have to be inclusive in our growth. And that means we have a special scheme for the SCs, STs, and we also help women. And so reservation for women and then people with disabilities. So, all these categories are also included. The fourth vertical that we work on is on market linkage, and that will be the forward linkage. So in order to enter into the global value chain, we have several schemes also. And under our international cooperation scheme, we have more than 780 major fairs and exhibitions across the globe approved already. So the MSMEs, the industry associations, the chambers, they take our MSMEs in their vertical to participate in all these fairs, and we pay for them. And under the IC also we have a provision where chambers and also the major agencies can also conduct international conference by inviting the experts of that particular vertical to come and speak to our MSMEs. And for the manufacturing competitiveness, MSMEs have to be aware of the environment hygiene, whatever they produce, the processes. And so we have champion scheme where we increase their competitiveness. And so some of the initiatives that we have taken under the champion scheme are innovation, incubation. For example, the MSMEs, they are very good. They have some niche product, and then they have some very good product, but then they do not know how to diversify their design, for example, number one. Or they do not know how to create a viable business model. So then we have identified many institutions known as host institute, including IITs, IIMs, NIDs. And so they will be the host institute. They will take your idea, create a viable business model, and then give it back to you. And then we also have a scheme to protect your IPR and also design. And to be environmentally conscious and also increase your competitiveness, we have zero effect, zero defect scheme. And under this, your unit gets rated. And once it is rated as bronze, silver, and gold, then you are more likely, it helped you to get all the credit that you want from the banks. And also we have a lean scheme, and that also helps in the competitive line. Now, for the ease of doing business, government, as I said, has already launched the Udyam registration portal. And we also have a new initiative called RAMP, Raising and Accelerating MSME Performance Scheme. And this is with the help of World Bank. And we are trying to not only create a new vertical, but also upgrade the already existing one and synergize the state, the center, and also whatever ecosystem is there, we want to upgrade it. So this is a RAM scheme, and it's doing very well with the state and also amongst the central government ministries also. The other initiative that we work on is on the MSME Sambandh. And so government says that 25% of all the procurement of government and CPSCs must mandatorily be from the MSMEs, 3% must be from women, and 4% must be from the SCs and STs. This is the public procurement policy of the government of India. So we monitor that also. So if you are in the manufacturing, if you are in the services, and you would like to sell it to CPSCs and the government, then you must get registered on GEM and also on the MSME Sambandh. And government e-market platform, GEM, you are already aware of that. MSME Samadhan is also another very important portal where we monitor the delayed payments. If the MSMEs do not get their payment on time, then they die because they are very small, and so they need their payment on time. So we monitor delayed payments and then help them get their payment on time. And I've already talked about the Champion Scheme and also the SRI, the Self-Reliant India Fund. And there are many other initiatives that the government of India, especially the Ministry of MSME, has taken up for our MSMEs. And robotics, artificial intelligence, and the drone technology that today you are talking about, these are the future. And so in order to be Industry 4.0 technology, we are all talking on every platform. So we want our MSMEs also to be aware. We also want to skill, upgrade their skilling so that they also access some of these focused sectors that are coming up. So I'm very proud that today, the Council has organized this workshop, and whatever you think that MSMEs can help you, kindly look up. Please tag us on our social media. We are very active on social media platforms, and the schemes, the details, the guidelines, everything is up there on our website. Visit us and email us. If you think that we can be of any help, please come forward. And then as we look forward to India growing to 5 trillion USD by 2025, we hope that together we can make that happen. So thank you for having me, and I wish you the very best.